Hey all. So another war here. This is the one against 4 Loki. We, as always, have a lot of friends over there. Amanda here, who plays this Maw, used to be in my battle group at SSx. So these ones are always hard. Um, Fun in some ways, but always hard because somebody has to lose, and it's not particularly fun regardless of who it is. But some fun fights here. It again worked out for me to take a relatively lighter load, but I have 2 torch fights here. Was fully expecting that degen. It was either going to be the dexterity or the precision buff from dexterity or the fury from his own special one. Basically, you don't want to slow play too much here because if he builds a ton of prowess and throws a special 2, it just hurts. So use the regen boost, no pre-fight, and just assumed I was going to lose a bit of health to degen. Really simple fight otherwise. We move on to this Mojo. This is what we were saving the pre-fight for because we don't want to be placing a lot of debuffs on Mojo since he has Sadist. You throw like 8 incinerates on him and the block damage is going to get really bad really quickly. But we are going to go ahead and heal up. There we are. Takes him to max almost perfectly. And we're going to head in. Again, Amanda's defenders knew this was a rank 4 Mojo going in. And the expectation here is basically that he probably will complete a fair number of prompts, but this is Torch with his pre-fight. I'm going to try and get some intercepts where I can to make this go faster, but especially after that first one, when Mojo is going to have more power, and let's be honest, probably start turtling a little bit more, that may not happen again. Now, I probably should have blocked that whole special one. I'm extremely comfortable dexing out of the special one in a way that does not proc dex, and so I did it fully out of habit, and cost myself some smolders. So could have done that differently. And then right there, I ended up dexing, and normally when that happens, I wait out anti-life field and see if I can get around it. Didn't really seem like it was going to be possible here, so I took the 1 degen, got aggressive, put up a bunch of Nova Flames, and then just kind of waited it out. Because if I had gotten super aggressive there, I could have pushed Mojo red, and that would have killed me. But by waiting for the Nova Flames to do their damage and then landing the same number of hits, we end up finishing the fight, and that's nice. Haven't used Torch in a while, but, he's still Torch. And then we go up against this kitty here, fully intending to try and get some intercepts early on, mostly for the damage. I'm not really concerned about the other side, because I knew that I was going to go into Eradicate here very quickly. We're just going to try and parry a lot. I think I end up not actually doing a very good job of parrying, because what you want to do is reparry like that. So we get 4 armor ups every time she charges, basically. Not going perfectly. She's also throwing some heavies, but again, this is Nimrod versus Kitty. These first 3 fights are just beyond simple. We really do not need to worry about them. It would be nice to have that intercept there, but it's really not important. And then, of course, we fall out of Eradicate, and so I make sure that she parries 1 more time, and then I dash back, or step, yeah, I guess that is dashing back, into the special 2, and that finishes it. So could have played that slower, did not need the intercepts, but they just kind of felt like they were going to work. And with intercepts, I often kind of trust my gut. They did work out, and that's about as clean as that can go. So then a bunch of other stuff goes down, and then I have boss duty with Hyperion. We have Mr. Fantastic pre-fights already placed on Terrax to activate the part of the Sick and Tired node that turns off unblockable, so I don't have to worry as much about getting armor breaks on me. And we are going to try and hold on to those Mr. Fantastic pre-fights by doing what we would do if we didn't have them, and basically just spamming special 1. I just used Hyperion on Eternity of Pain Terrax last week. I was very comfortable with this moveset. Obviously, we can't stun him here, but there's also a whole bunch of other complications that we don't have. So, this right here is what we'd like to do. We'd like to heavy counter the special 1 every time, but you're going to see me not go for it a couple times later on because it just didn't quite feel right. And if you're wrong, you eat a combo with multiple armor breaks up, and if he crits, like, Terrax can kill you very, very quickly. So when in doubt, we are going to play as safely as we possibly can and just spam the special 1. The other thing is that the special 2 is not as efficient as far as doing damage on a per power basis, because we're not able to stun. The armor break isn't that important, and the special 2 doesn't place a bunch of incinerates. The special 1 does. So if we have the choice between potentially getting hit in the face, going for a heavy counter, and definitely going for a special 1, we're going to take that. But there is one more, and that's kind of the other reason that I wasn't super focused on the heavy counter, because sometimes that happens, and you throw 2 heavies and get 2 furies. It is what it is. We got terrible luck on the incinerates there. Alright, but I mean, he's going down. We're 2 minutes in. He's almost 2/3 down. This is a very good pace for this fight. It is slowing down slightly as we go. Because of the adaptive node, the energy resist is adding up, but you're still seeing the incinerates chunk away for enough. That's all I'm really concerned about. That would have been an easy heavy counter, but clearly I wasn't feeling it. Now that surprised me. The fact that the unblockable still came online, and you just know at some point I'm going to try to dex and I'm going to block instead, and I'm going to lose my indestructible. There it is. C'est la vie. But what I think happened there, since obviously I never dropped below 3 debuffs on him, and therefore never lost the heal block and never lost the unblockable ability accuracy reduction, what had to happen is that he put an armor break on me in the exact frame that I was hitting him. And because I was hitting him, that's how we code defensive ability accuracy triggers, and therefore it was considered, the unblockable was considered a defensive ability just because I was hitting him at that time, and therefore was boosted by steady buildup, which gives extra ability accuracy to unblockable, and that allowed it to proc around sick and tired. The same thing may have happened earlier in the fight, but it just wasn't boosted to a full 100% chance, and so I just got lucky, and then it finally happened there. So something to watch out for. That's why Wiccan might be better for Terrax here, since he just hard counters him so well and blocks unblockables. But this Hyperion was much easier to path this war. Definitely slower, but as you saw, it's an extremely safe counter. You always have something to do. As long as you are at all comfortable intercepting with the special 1, super safe fight. And unfortunately, Battle Group 3 continued our downward trend. We had if you remember, a donut the first war, and 2 deaths last war. Well, we put up 4 this war with some uncharacteristic weirdness. So we're definitely going to try and fix that. I think one of them was probably at least partially my fault from an assignment standpoint, but we'll get to that. And yeah, hopefully we can turn that around. But the good news is I had mentioned in the previous videos, trying not to throw any shade, but some of the other battle groups had a bit of a rough time the first couple wars. Well, they turned it around this war, with Battle Group 1 even getting a donut. And so we did end up beating 4 low-key by a couple attack bonuses. It's always close against them, so I'm not going to pretend that this informs the next one, but was really nice to get this win here, because that means that we are 3-0 in Tier 1 wars. That's not going to put us at the very top, because our attack bonus has not been stellar, but it is a really nice start to the season, and makes things that much easier going forward. So we'll see how the next one goes, and until then, thanks so much for watching, and take care.